Hello everybody and welcome to a new tutorial. Today in the part 2 I will show you how you can use correctly the basic commands of AutoCAD 3D. After this tutorial you will have at least an idea how you can develop shapes, objects and surfaces with AutoCAD. For those of you who want to learn more about the 3D part of AutoCAD, I will let a link in the description with the entire course. If you didn't see already the first part where I explained the interface of the AutoCAD 3D, I will let a link here in the right corner. So let's get started. As you already know, for the 3D part we are here in the modeling tab in this area. So we can click off each icon, it depends what we need, or we can go here at the draw panel and we have here 3D modeling. And here we can find the same icons within this tab, but in this tab are more complex, so we have much more variations. We can either click here at the box for example, or we can write box and the command will start. Another tab that we have here, it is the modify panel. So here in this panel we have 3D operations and we have them also here in this part, or we have solid editing which can be easily found also here in this tab. So let's get started. First of all, I want to begin with the solid panel. All these operations are related to solids, as it is also the name. So let's start with the first one. We have here the box icon. We can click on there or we can write it. So for example, let's write box. But before doing that, let's go with the 3D plan. Let's press the home icon. Now let's write box and let's create first of all a rectangle. And then let's add a height and automatically we have a box. As you know from the previous episode, let's click here into shaded with edges for example, or shaded to have a better 3D view. Like we already done the box, let's draw now a cylinder because it is more or less the same, but instead of a rectangular face here we have a circle. So let's write cylinder. Now we will write just the radius. For example, let's say I need a radius of 5. And now we will add the height. Okay. In the same manner, we can do also a cone. So write cone. Write the radius, also 5, let's say, for example. And now let's add the height. The height, it depends on what we need. For example, 15. And press enter. Now we have a cone. If you cannot remember, if you want to move the drawing, just press the mouse wheel, and if you want to rotate the drawing, press shift and the mouse wheel, and you can rotate it. Another object that we can make, that is a pyramid. So write pyramid. Here we have two options, so we can let it like this, and we can write, for example, 5 and add a height of 15, let's say, or let's change here into 2D wireframe. Write again pyramid, and for this time instead of this measurement let's write in script, and we can measure the diagonal. Now it is basically the same thing, but it depends of what measurements you have. And let's write again 15, change it back to have a clear vision. Okay, and moreover we can draw also a sphere, so write sphere. And now just add the radius, or if you have the diameter, for example, let's say, press D from diameter, or you can write diameter, and you can measure now the diameter. Let's say we have a diameter of 20 units, and here it is, our sphere. Good, let's delete all of them, Control A and delete. Press the home button again. Right click here to the parallel to have a better view, and let's go now to the extrude function. So let's start through a simple example. Let's apply the line command and let's construct 4 lines, lines of 10 units. 10, 10 and 10. Escape. And now I want to apply the extrude command. You can press here, as I said already before, or you can just write extrude. I recommend you to write extrude because it is much faster on the long run. So if I will extrude one line and I will press enter, I will have now a surface. So if I'll double click on it, it is written here surface, okay, through extrusion. Or I can keep the mouse like this and it will be right. Surface extrusion. Good. Let's undo this property, Control Z, and for example let's select all of them, but write extrude, select all of them, and now I am able to draw 4 surfaces. As inside I have a hole, but if I want to draw a solid, as it is the name of this panel, undo, Now, if I want to draw a solid, I must have here one single line. So one boundary, in other words. So select all the lines and press the join command to have one single line. Good. Now we are ready to apply the extrude, but now let's write mode because it is written here. Mode, and I can choose between surface and solid. I will press solid for this time. Enter, and now I draw a solid. Extrude command have more variations. For example, the same thing, let's undo it, and let's write extrude. But for this time, mode, surface, and it is basically the same thing. We can generate again the surface. Another variation of the extrude, it will be, for example, the taper angle. Let me show you. Let's draw a rectangle. Okay, it is a simple rectangle, nothing fancy. And now apply the extrude, select mode, solid for this time, enter, but now write taper from taper angle. And here we see that we are able to select an angle that we need. For example, I need an angle of 15 degrees, for example. So I can go as high as I want, or I can let it like this at this shape. I can draw what I need. For example, I'll let it like this. So in this way, I can draw a shape like this. Very easy, clean, and fast. So another variation, it will be the path. Let's draw a spline, but let's deactivate the ortho command. So let's go to spline. Let's start from the origin. So write 0, 0, and let's draw a random spline. Enter. Good. And now let's change the origin. So write UCS 0, 0 to start exactly from the origin. Let's activate the ortho command again, X and Y. Because in order to draw something in the 3D space, I will draw every single time in XY axis. So this is why it's very important to change the coordinates if you want to change the plan. So let's create a circle. So write circle. Start from the center, 0, 0. And let's say I have a circle of 1 unit radius. Okay, now I will go with extrude. Select this circle, enter, and I'm ready to draw a cylinder. But let's write path, and now I must select the path, and the path is this split line. Press enter, and here it is. Another command that I want to show to you, it is the press pull. So let's create two cases. So let's apply again line, 10, and coming back, and a rectangle, 10, tab 10. Good. Let's apply now the press pull. So here we can find it or we can write it. And this is the beauty of this command, because the area is automatically selected. Or I can click also at this corner or this edge. And the command, it is still active compared to extrude where it is not. And I can modify the thickness. With this command, I can extend this solid. For example, I need here an extension of 10 units. So I will click at this surface and I will write 10 units. Here I need 2, for example. I will write 2, and the command it is still active. Press escape, and if you are clicking on it, you see that there is a 3D solid here, or double click to be sure. The next command, it will be here the fillet edge. It is basically the 3D version for the classic fillet command. So let's say I have this edge and I want to have a fillet here. So you can press here, or you can write fillet edge. Now let's read select an edge. Okay, this is our edge, enter. If I'm fine with that, I will press again enter. Or if I'm not, I will press radius here, or I can write radius. But now I press radius, so let's write the radius. Let's say I want a radius of 5. If I'm okay with that, I will press enter. And in our case, let's say I'm fine and I will press enter. So here it is, our edge. Good. And if I'll have, for example, this object, I will move it to the inside of this one. Yes. And as you see, I have a solid and I have the second solid. If I want to have one single solid, I'll go here at the union command, select both and press enter. And now I have one single solid. So it works like one solid. Let's delete everything. Press the home button. The next command that I want to show you, it is the revolve. In order to do that, let's construct another spline. Starting from the region 0, 0, let's deactivate the ortho command. Okay, right click, enter. Create again a line, but activate the ortho command for this time. So line 0, 0, and let's make like this. Now let's extend this part. Enter. Let's extend this part. Good. And now let's apply the revolve command. So write revolve. Enter. Specify axis. Shift right click endpoint. Good. And now it depends of what angle I need. For example, here I have 20 degrees, here I have 90 degrees. So if I want to have, let's say 360 degrees, I will just press the space bar. And I'll have this shape. If you want to see better, just write 3D orbit. Escape. The next command, it is the sweep command. So in order to do that, let's construct a circle, for example. Yes, a circle like this. And let's construct a spline, for example. So spline, starting from the origin 0, 0, deactivate the ortho command. Enter. Now let's rotate it. So I will show you faster the command for the 3D rotate. It is the 3D rotate. Select the red one. Activate the ortho command. Yes, to be like this. Move. Shift right click endpoint. Place it here in the middle. Sweep. Select the circle. Enter. Select sweep path. This is the one. And here it is. And you can see that there is a 3D solid. You have another option. Undo it. Let's go to sweep mode. And let's choose surface, for example. Select the circle, enter, select this sweep path, enter. And here I have a surface. You see it? Okay, let's delete everything. Control A, delete. Another important command, it is the loft command. So let me show you. We have a rectangle. And inside a circle, for example. Let's move the circle up. So move. Let's place it here. And I need to have here a solid. So let's go to loft. Select the circle, the rectangle. And here we have a preview, a short preview of how it will look. If you are okay with that, press enter and again enter. And here I have a solid now. You see, it is a solid. And like this, we could add any shape that we have. For example, instead of this circle, we can have here a star. We can have another rectangle. It doesn't matter. And like the previous models, let's undo it. And let's go to loft, mode, select surface, for example. Press enter. And here you see, there are just 4 surfaces, or 1 surface basically. Delete everything. And another command, very important for the 3D solids, it will be the subtract. So let's create first of all a box. And now a sphere. Yes, like this. You see that we have here 2 separate objects. And let's say I want to cut from the sphere this part, the intersection. I want to cut just the intersection. In order to do that, I will apply the subtract command. So select the sphere. The first object, it will be the object that it will have a hole. Press enter. And now the second object, the object with the intersection, and press enter. So here we see there is the cut that we made from this box. But we can do also the reverse. Undo this operation. And let's apply the subtract again. This one, it will be the first object from where we will cut. Press enter, and now the sphere. And as you see, This is the exactly solid that we cut it. Let's undo it. And now let's apply another command. It is the intersect. So to see exactly which is the intersection of these two objects. So intersect. Select the first one, select the second one, and press enter. So this little piece, it is the intersection of those two solids. Good. Let's delete everything. Press the home button. For the next panel, we have here surface. Here at surface, I will present today just 3 commands, the most important ones. Let me show you how to use the first one. In order to do that, I will construct 2 lines. So line, 10 units, for example, escape, copy it, put it in the other side as well. And now let's construct an arch. Disable the ortho command. And apply again 3D rotation. Pick up the green one. Yes, activate the ortho command to be easier. Okay, move. Good. Now let's copy it. Copy command. And to be a little bit more interesting, place it like this. Let's change the height. Okay. Good. Let's apply now surface network. So select curves or surfaces edges. These 2 lines in our case. Enter. Select curves or surface edges, second direction. And here it is. Now this command generates an entire surface guided by our lines and arches. And you can apply it in many other situations as well. Delete everything. The second command that I want to show you here, it is the surface bend. In order to do that, let's construct 2 circles. So a circle, okay, 5 let's say, and inside, at the same center, a circle smaller, yes, like this. Now let's apply the extrude command, mode, and I need here surface for this time. Good. The first thing that I want to show you here, so let's apply it. Surface blend. Select first, enter. Select second, enter. And I have 2 choices here. First one, continuity. G1, G1, enter. And here you see, I have another surface here. You can see it. Or I can apply the other side. So I will show you right now. Surface blend. First area, enter. Second one, enter. Bulge magnitude. Let's write, for example, 7. 7 again. Accept it, enter. Here you see now what we generated. Select everything and delete. Home button. Now let's construct a line again. 10 units. Copy it. The distance of 10. Okay. Let's apply the press pull. Right 10. The command is still active, so let's construct another one. Right 10. And now let's rotate it. So 3D rotate. Use the green one. And now let's move it. Move down with 5 units. Move also with 5 units in this side. And now let's apply this command. Surface fillet. Let's read. Select first surface. I selected. Select second one. And if I'm fine with that, I will press enter. Or if I'm not, I'll go radius and I will press, for example, 2.45. If I'm okay with that, I'll press enter and here it is. And I have this extra line that we have. You can delete it as well. So here I have a surface. Basically I have 3 surfaces, but I can join them and to make one. Good. Delete everything. And let's go to the next panel. So it is the mesh one. Let me show you real quick the most important ones. So let's say I have a box. So let's construct a box again. Good. And now I will go here to smooth object. and press enter. So here it is the smoother version of that box. And if I want to be even more smoother, I have a special button here. So smooth more, or I can write mesh smooth more. Enter, and pay attention, it is smoother now. I can smooth it again. And the pixels, these pixels are smaller and smaller. And until one time I cannot smooth it anymore. But you see it is pretty thin. And now to go back, I have the opposite button, smooth less. Enter, and see these pixels are starting to become bigger and bigger. And the maximum it will be here when I have the initial box. But now I cannot have a box anymore, because if I'll double click on it, it is not a solid, it is a mesh. So it is basically the same thing if I will click here and I will press mesh box. If I will try to explode it, so press explode, I can delete these regions, and you see it is empty for inside. Delete everything. The next panel that I want to talk about a little bit, it is this UCS. As you already know, we have many possibilities. For example, let's construct a rectangle, or let's construct a circle. You notice that when we construct something in the 3D space, we will construct every single time in the XY axis. This is why it's very important, the origin or the UCS. For example, if I want to draw perpendicular this rectangle, I must modify this UCS. In order to do that, I have two options. So to modify like this, write UCS. Select, for example, this corner. This, it will be the X axis, you see it. And now the Y. So here I am able to draw, for example, a rectangle in this position every single time. It doesn't matter if it is away or near. The same thing also with the circles. Let's undo it. Another option is to go with this cube. So let's go here left. You see that there is here X, Z, and Y here. To have here X, Y, let's go to again to UCS, and here we will select view. And it is basically the same thing. So let's try rectangle, circle, line, and all the other shapes. The Draw tab, it is basically the tab for the 2D sketches or for the drafting or 2D drawing. The next one, it will be the Modify. Here, you already know the command 3D Rotate. I already show you, so I will apply again. So let's say I have a box. In this case, I recommend you to use a lot the Ortho command because it is much easier. So let's say 3D Rotate. Select this solid, enter, select the axis, for example, the blue one. And I can rotate it very easy and quick. If I need an angle, deactivate the Ortho command, 3D Rotate, select this solid, enter, pick one, the blue one, or another one, and I can put it also in the other angle. The next command I want to show you, it is the 3D move, which is basically the same move command for the 2D drawings. Select the object, enter, and I can move it. Another one, it will be 3D mirror. So it is basically the 3D version for the mirror command in 2D space. So 3D mirror, I select the object, enter, and now let's set the plan. For example, here it will be one, and here it will be the other one. You can imagine how it will look like now. Erase source object or delete the source object. No, because I want to have two. And here it is. It is exactly in the mirror. And the final command for the Modify tab, it will be the 3D array. In order to do that, let's delete those and let's create a box. 3D array, select the object, enter, let's say rectangular for this time. And now let's write, enter the number of rows, 5. Enter the number of columns, let's say 1. Number of levels, also 1. Specify the distance between rows, let's say 100. Here it is. Now you have a better idea what it means 3D array. Of course, you have many more commands, but for a beginner or for the basic knowledge, I believe it is enough for the first tutorial. So after this tutorial, I hope everything was well understood, and now you have a much clearer vision about modeling in 3D workspace in AutoCAD. I hope this video helped you. If you have questions, don't hesitate to let them in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.